Morning, folks. Kevin here. Well, it's November 20th, 2025. It was 9 months ago today that the workshop collapsed. My heart fell, well, it just disappeared when that happened, thinking about all the things that that meant and all. And it's been a challenging 9 months with little obstacles, just like everybody faces in their lives. There'll be issues all along the way, whether it's insurance issues they're still battling, still need Henry, the Amish men, to come back and get the metal on the roof, you know, things not being installed correctly, those sorts of things. Lots of challenges we've had, and you know, it's life. So not positive how everything's going to work out yet today. Laurie's going to come over and give me a hand again today, which is wonderful. And I'm trying to decide just what to do. Yesterday I installed the torsion spring system for this door, and that worked out pretty well. And I did go back and check in the video. I did 34 windings on each one, and I'm thinking 34 quarter turns. I did it in half turns in the video, and it probably needs 35. 36 seems to be a little bit too much. So what you do is, when you're trying to determine how many quarter turns you want for an overhead door, a 7-foot door is going to need 28 quarter turns. Is that right? So you need 7 full turns per spring. So in other words, you need a full turn for every foot of door. And these are 9-foot doors right here. So you need 9 full turns, or you need 36 quarter turns. And everything I've done so far has been like the quarter turns. But I'm just not positive yet what is the best way. I know the lighting isn't too bad today. So probably 35 turns is what's probably about ideal right now. And when we install, once electricity is in, we'll install the automatic door openers. And that's something I'm going to want to do before too long, is at least get the power to these doors over here. Like this door here is the one I come out with a snowblower. And it's so much easier if I can just open it up when I need to open it and close it when I need to close it, without getting in and out of the tractor when the wind's blowing like crazy and all, and the snow is blowing in here. So that'd be good. So another thing I started yesterday was moving some of these pallets of plywood. So this plywood will be used for all of the interior walls and the ceilings in here. So there'll be plywood on this side of this wall, and plywood on this side as well. There's the doors stationed right there. Yesterday, coming in here with the Hulk, with the forks on, it was kind of a ticklish situation trying to get them in here close to where I need them to be. And I wanted to put this higher, but probably not the best thing, considering that they're all a little, well, they're tweaked some, as you could see. As Mike Morgan would say, oh, they're all jacked up. So I'm going to have to put a pallet on. When Laurie comes out, I'll put a beam up against here or whatever and push against it to try and get this back in alignment. And I don't know, should I cut these straps? And will that release the pressure, and will they start to settle properly? Once they've been stored outside and they're on uneven ground out there on different boards, some boards sank in, they all sort of took these shapes and all. And I'm thinking that's what I'll do. I'll probably cut the straps, which means it'll be a real hassle later on. The other issue is when I store these like this, you know, the forks on our equipment are longer than 4 feet. So right there you can see some of the material has fallen over onto the forks, but you see the pallet is way out here and the forks are right at the end of them here. So have to always be mindful when you're using a piece of equipment and you got an exterior wall and you're putting these up close to an exterior wall. You don't want to come in and put your mass right up against that, because you'll be going right through the wall here. So just something to think about. And for those who aren't used to using equipment indoors and all. So I don't know, I may be pushing this back and trying cutting the straps. I hate cutting the straps on these buggers because they can stay tight together and be in really good shape, but sometimes it's better just to go ahead and cut the straps. And I think I'll end up doing that and seeing if that makes things better. I'll push these back first. Then I'll decide, do I want to try and put one more on top of this, or at least a partial one? And I think I'll put the other ones right here. So, and then I just need to make more room in this workshop is what I've got to do. And so these materials, I want to get these all stacked. Those will be going up into, a lot of those will be going up into the trusses for permanent bracing. And some of these will be another wall that's going to be built up against this wall here that's going to support part of the mezzanine. So, and we have the other overhead door there that goes over in this section. I think we may work on this sooner rather than later, getting this overhead door in. And because the more that I think about it, it's probably going to take quite some time for Clopay to actually get the replacement parts. And I may be able to straighten those out enough where the door will actually work, even though they're bent. So I'm not positive I can do that, but I think I might be able to do that. So anyways, yeah, so this is like constantly moving tools and equipment around so that I can get this area clean. So, and then I'd like to get the firewood in here as well. Because going out back and snow blowing all the way out back, it'll have to be done at times, but snow blowing way over next to the wood lots, where the forest tree line is, where a lot of my equipment is, and where the firewood is at this time in the IBC cages, it'd be best to be able to get that up in here, and then it'll be dry out of the weather, and it'll be easier for me to come in and grab it, hopefully, for use. So those are a few of my random thoughts right now. I'm glad it's a beautiful sunny morning, not windy at all, so that's excellent. And we'll figure this out bit by bit. Here we go. Right now together?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
All right. You see how close that side is at the bottom to the wall? How many inches do we have there at the bottom? Yeah, how much is there in space? Go to the opposite side and look at, parallel what it looks like. So we can go, so take that beam, position it, right about there is good. good there. How does the stickers? The stickers look like they're in good spots?
Yeah.
See where the sticker is right there? Put it right in front of the sticker and strap it. And am I in line with the sticker now? Watch the back side now. How close am I now? That's probably pretty good there. It looks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Set that to the side as little as possible, so it's a feel like you should walk in. I'm high enough? I cannot see in front of me, so you gotta tell. Tips are up some.
Woke up this morning, sun on my face, chasing the dream at my own steady pace. No shortcuts taken, no half-hearted tries. Every step forward lights fire in my eyes. Sweat on the journey, heart in the grind, building the bridge from the now to what's mine. Whatever you do in life, give it your best. Pour in the passion, outshine all the rest. The wins that you stack are the bricks in your wall. Foundation for futures that answer your call. You're carving the path, writing stories in time. Skills in your pocket, turn mountains to climbs. Doors swing wide open when effort is true. The life that you're making is waiting for you. Late nights learning, small failures teach. Every scar earned is a lesson in reach. From canvas to code, from stage to the street. Master the craft till your heart beats complete. Doubt tries to whisper, but courage replies. Watch how the effort paints gold in the skies. Whatever you do in life, give it your best. Pour in the passion, outshine all the rest. The wins that you stack are the bricks in your wall. Foundation for futures that answer your call. You're carving the path, writing stories in time. Skills in your pocket, turn mountains to climbs. Doors swing wide open when effort is true. The life that you're making is waiting for you. One day you'll look back, see the tower you raised, built grain by grain through the nights and the days. The kid with a dream grew roots in the fight. Now opportunity knocks in the warm morning at your best. Pour in the passion, outshine all the rest. The wins that you stack are the bricks in your wall. Foundation for futures that answer your call. You're carving the path, writing stories in time. Skills in your pocket, turn mountains to climbs. Doors swing wide open when effort is true. The life that you're making belongs to you. In the rhythm of the seasons we find our way, learning lessons from the light of day. In the balance of the earth we stand, guided by the wisdom lent by hand. Every action, every choice we make, ripples through the world for our own sake. Listen to the whispers of the land, adjust our ways and understand. Apply self-regulation, keep it true, accept feedback in all we do. Nature's voice will guide us right through the darkest night to the morning light. Apply self-regulation, take a stand in harmony with the earth, hand in hand in the garden where we grow our dreams. Watch the ebb and flow of nature's streams. We learn to give, we learn to take, every step a chance to innovate. From the soil to the sky above, we find the balance, we find the love. Listening to the signals all around, in the silence, wisdom found. Apply self-regulation, keep it true, accept feedback in all we do. Nature's voice will guide us right through the darkest night to the morning light. Apply self-regulation, take a stand in harmony with the earth, hand in hand in the cycles of the moon and sun. We find the truth in everyone. Every challenge, every grace leads us to a better place. Apply self-regulation, keep it true, accept feedback in all we do. Nature's voice will guide us right through the darkest night to the morning light. Apply self-regulation, take a stand in harmony with the earth, hand in hand, so we journey ever wise with open hearts and open eyes. Apply self-regulation, hear the call, in nature's wisdom we stand tall. Going over to where the compost and the leaf pile are. So this is Laurie's first day
operating the Grapple on Mini-Me. She's doing very well. Operating a Grapple requires a lot of dexterity and coordination, and she's doing very well. It's a challenging thing because typically you have to pay attention to the height of your arms, the tilt of the Grapple itself, and then the opening and closing of the Grapple. Very, very challenging. Once you get it down, you get muscle memory, but in the very beginning it can be something else. And what we're trying to do is avoid, number one, we don't want a penetration that can have a branch go in and rupture the radiator. So we always want our limbs to be parallel with the front of the Grapple. So that's important. And our piles aren't necessarily that way. There's side branches as well. So she's getting used to operating in a higher speed, which is great. Okay. I'm going to set the camera down over here and see if we can figure things out. Well, no, we'll get the rest later. What we did initially was we used the front part of the grapple, the part that opens and closes. We used that as a rake first over where the white birch tree blew over a few weeks ago. And Laurie did a fantastic job. It takes some time to get comfortable with this. And you're just starting to, when you're first starting to get used to which button opens it, which button closes it. Those are your third function controls on your loader arms. So there's up and down with the arms, there's tilting and curling with the bucket or grapple, and then there's opening and closing of the grapple. And it sounds real easy until you actually start doing it. Once you do it for a while, you realize the best approach to use, how to not to dig into the soil very much, how to get them parallel with each other so that they're much easier to grasp, reducing the chances of limbs coming through the radiator and all. Yeah, she's doing excellent. And there's a point at which I've got to step back and let her explore. And one key thing, even with a grapple load like this, only when you're at the end of your trip do you want to raise it up that high, because this is uneven ground and you can tip that unit right over. There's a mechanism, a safety switch on the seat, okay?
That makes more sense. Okay, at least it wasn't the engine and then, okay.
So now all I would do is crank your wheel more to the right so that you're coming parallel with the edge of the road. Yep, just a smidge, yeah, that's okay. Right there is good. Excellent. Get used to using your mirrors. Laurie? As you're driving back, train your hand to open and close, so you're getting your finger muscle memory as you're going. So it's also important when you're grasping different materials like limbs, leaves, anything where there's potential air spaces or older materials where they can break down. You want to always be going back and rechecking how tight your clamp is, your jaws are. And I can tell I'm going to have to grease it again. I get little squeaks I hear. So by opening and closing the jaws on the grapple, she's training her fingers which way's open, which way's closed. And then the next time she gets on the tractor, she can go ahead and experiment and say, all right, now which one is it? And then get used to it again. So we'll try with each attachment one at a time. Couldn't record the initial part when we first were learning back dragging, raking, and the initial pulling roots out of the ground with it, because I was talking the whole time right next to her, working her through the process. Big part of this is getting your approach. First learning this, be willing to come back and make it in, 3 loads as opposed to, like, I would often try to get it in 1 load. And I would tease out the limbs and do back dragging first to get rid of a lot of the leaves. So we'll leave those last couple limbs there, because as I go to turn the pile, I'll be pulling out more limbs and all. So that's my granddaughter, Laurie. She's pretty amazing, very intelligent, very smart, a quick learner, and a hard worker. Okay, back to the process. Well, all in all, things went pretty well today. With some challenges. So Laurie, my granddaughter, came over, very, very big help getting things moved around, moving the big pallets of plywood into the central area so we could open up that side over there for Optimus and other equipment and all. And then bringing insulation in, organizing more things inside of there as well. All of that, big doings, to tell you the truth. I was getting low on some of the fuel, so I went out to my off-road diesel tank, and I added some of the winterizing. So it's an anti-gel additive to add to the off-road diesel tank. And it is about a half a tank, so I added the material, was pumping it to circulate it. In other words, where you use your fill pumping it so it stirred all up. And the pump died. The wire connections seem all good and all. So I contacted Evie, that's the place that we lease the tank from and that fill our tanks. and they don't know that they have a battery operated one available. And Monday they'll come out and all, and then my tanks were just about empty and all. So fortunately we have that 118 gallon backup tank that I've got back there by the shipping containers. And so I fired that baby up, added some of the winterizing gel to that one, and was able to get the green machine, ratchet, the Hulk, all filled up and all. So things worked out pretty well. So lots of things got moved around in there, so that's real good. I think it's probably too dark in here now. I just got done closing the doors. So those two pallets we did yesterday. Laurie put some of the boards that we had stacked over here, up there, just trying to really consolidate things. We moved these two pallets in today, moved the doors over to this location right here, and Laurie went ahead out in the aviary, brought all of the insulation in to this area here. We consolidated two different pallets so that we're on top of each other from over there into here as well. So that all worked out pretty darn well. Henry did call today and said they're going to shoot for tomorrow to come and get the metal roofing on. Fingers crossed the weather holds out and we can get the roof on and the rest of the soffit set. So that'll be really, really good. Then at the end of the day, I decided to take Laurie. She's been doing very well with Mini-Me, the small Kubota tractor, the B2601 over there. And I had put the grapple on it yesterday to move all of the leaves over to the fig trees and all. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to train her using the grapple. So we spent a little over an hour working in a couple of spots. And then I went ahead and added some film of her actually going and grabbing some piles and moving them over to the area that we needed to deposit the woody material and all. So she's been doing absolutely fantastic. It's really nice to have a granddaughter who picks this stuff up so quickly. It really takes time to develop the muscle memory for using each piece of equipment. So I thought I'd start off with the smallest piece of equipment, that's Mini-Me, and get her used to using the bucket, you know, like moving wood chips. She hasn't done that yet. Moving soil, those sorts of things. Learning the safety issues with it, that's really important. And then today, getting some introduction to the grapple, really, really important. Get her used to that first before we step her up to the larger equipment and all. So I guess that's about it for today's video, folks. Really appreciate you watching. I'm kind of excited about tomorrow. There's always going to be some setbacks with the fuel tank and all, so hopefully they can get a replacement for that. And hopefully Henry doesn't have any troubles. We can get this roof on tomorrow, get that set, and then we can continue getting the doors, getting the permanent bracing for the trusses in, getting some of the wiring done so I got lighting in there, all of those sorts of things. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Those are the things I've been thinking about and what I thought I'd share with you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye now.